First of all, I wanted to tell you, thank you to you personally, because I think that you are doing a wonderful work in this time to keep our community connected. And I think this is very important. And so thank you a lot.
Wow,
thanks a lot.
Don't say that. I say thank you for open the way to us new students. But let's keep walking together. Thank you, Fina. Thank you for put your time, your energy, share your feelings, share your knowledge. I am sure that will be very nice to our community. And thank you. Cool.
Okay.
I will say a few words about you, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Fina Pla is a local trainer from Catalana Associação de Análise Bioenergética from Spain, in Barcelona, right?
Yes.
Is clinical psychologist working in private practice with individual and groups, right?
Yes.
Fina is a local trainer. Very nice. What do you think? I have a lot of questions for you. You wish you wish talking, or you wish that I start with the questions?
Well, let's go through the questions, right?
Nice, nice.
Let's go to through the questions.
Perfect. The first question: how was your involvement with bioenergetic analysis? How did you meet her, and why did you choose it as a professional activity?
Yeah. So I have to talk about when I was in my 30s, right? And I was following psychoanalytic therapy at that time, but my analyst, I felt her quite distant, and the setting was very strict, and I didn't feel very well. And it happened that my partner, he was having a bioenergetic therapy, which was just starting in Barcelona. And we were sharing what happened in our therapies. And so finally I decided to attend a workshop in bioenergetic analysis. And in that workshop, the feeling I had, that it was like, wow, this is where I want to be. This is home. Because what I found there, it was these deep feelings having been worked through, the spontaneity, the sharing, all the release of those strong emotions. So I decided that I wanted, I was very curious, I was very stimulated by this workshop. And so I applied for the training program, and at that moment I had to wait for 3 years to get trained. Yeah, because there was no group at that moment, and the group started when there was enough people, right? And bioenergetic analysis was at its beginnings in Barcelona. So I waited for 3 years. Meanwhile, I got trained in Gestalt, because the training in Gestalt was 3 years. So I did it. And then I started with bioenergetic analysis. And yes.
Sorry, if you can adjust your image, because we can see your eyes and your nose. We cannot see your mouth. Yes, very nice, very nice.
Now?
Thank you. Sorry, and thank you.
Okay.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay. So, so why I became interested in bioenergetic analysis?
Yeah.
Because I found that this approach had a consistent theoretical analytic background, and I like this, but it was experiential. This was the most important thing. It was like, it was not talking about feelings. It was having the experience with your feelings.
Yeah.
It was surrendering to your feelings. And this is what made me go into this approach.
Very nice, very nice. In which year you start your contact with
Uh,
Bioenergetic?
I started in I think in 85, and I finished I think around 89, 90. The first congress I attended while I was a student, it was in Miami, and Alexander Lowen was still there, so I could see him working. And then later I went to have a workshop with him in Greece, because I
Very nice.
wanted to work directly with him. It was still possible at that time. So I went,
Good for us.
and by the way, Dante, in this first Congress, I discovered the Brazilian community, and
Wow.
we were astonished at the way that the Brazilians danced with their pelvis. You know, it was
I
so
know.
fantastic seeing them dance in that way. Yeah.
Yes, the Brazilians have the axé, like us use it to say. Cool, very nice, Fina. Um, do you use other techniques in your work? You quote Gestalt. You how is the relationship?
You know, I am a very curious person, and I enjoy learning. I have never stopped learning in all my life. Uh, so during these more than 30 years of bioenergetic analysis, which bioenergetic analysis was the backbone, was the central part of my being and doing as a therapist. But I never ceased to be interested and get trained in other approaches. And each approach that I got trained, I found a way to integrate it in my being a bioenergetic therapist, you know, because I think it's very personal that each therapist, we find our own way to integrate all the knowledge that we have. And so I became very interested in attachment theory. I think it has been an incredible contribution.
Yeah.
And and I was very interested, for example, in my attachment patterns as a therapist, and how to work with them, and how they interact with the attachment patterns of our patients, because I was very interested in Bowlby, because Bowlby was a kind of a revolutionary, because he was rejected by his psychoanalytic community, because at that time classical psychoanalysis was based more in the intrapsychic conflicts. So they thought that the conflicts were inside the person, and that they expressed through their dreams, their representations, their transference, but that the environment was not that important. But what Bowlby found was that the environment was extremely important, and it affected the sense of self of the baby through his relationship with the mother. And then the fantastic thing was that all this knowledge could be applied to the therapeutic relationship, right? So we could work with our patients in a way that they could repair the wounds we all have from our family histories. They could repair the wounds of not having been seen, not having been recognized, not having been given a place, or directly more difficult things like maltreatment and abuse. So, and the relationship, attachment theory, I mean, the center is the relationship. And this has, for me, it has been an essential understanding that has impacted me a lot. You know, and not only with attachment theory, because after attachment theory, it came relational psychoanalysis, right?
Yeah.
The influence of relational psychoanalysis, and that they put the main emphasis in the relationship. So again, I was, you know, in contact with another approach that the main emphasis for transformation and healing was placed in the relationship, right?
Very nice.
And in relational psychoanalysis, there is a group of psychoanalysts and researchers called the Boston Change Process Group. And in this group, there are people known like Daniel Stern and Ed Tronick, you know, the experiment of the face. I don't know if you know it. That's a very interesting experiment he did. Well, all these people, all of them, again, placed the main emphasis for transformation in the therapeutic relationship. So they made a big research with children and attachment in children, but then how this could be applied to the therapeutic relationship, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
This example of the experiment with the face that you quote, you think that is possible told to us? Is appropriate now?
Yeah. And we teach them in the groups, because it's called the still face experiment, right? Still face. That the mother for some minutes doesn't move her face, right? And we see recorded the reaction of the baby and how the baby dysregulates, right?
Yeah.
And how important this is. So we have all these people who, another important aspect is that they think that the therapist in the therapeutic relationship has to be real and genuine, you know, and this meant a kind of change in the role of the therapist, from that place that the therapist knows everything and reads the body and makes a diagnosis and everything, it is changed to a kind of model of interactive mutuality, that the therapist affects the patient and the patient affects the therapist, right?
Perfect.
And all of this, of course, can be brought into bioenergetic analysis, can be brought into the relationship, and can be brought in all the, in all the body relationship that we have with our patient. So that was really very, very important for me.
Cool. Fina,
yeah.
Sorry, I am maybe naive. Diana told to us that in YouTube we can see the entire experiment. And,
yes.
And
yeah.
You can talk, sir.
Yeah, it's in YouTube, and it's I encourage you to have a look at it, because it is very illustrative of this change of paradigm that we are immersed in the field of psychotherapy, with not only with attachment theory and relational analysis, but with neuroscience, and all the issue of self-regulation and co-regulation. Because if we want our patients that they can learn to self-regulate, first they have to experience with us therapists an experience of co-regulation. They have to co-regulation, and then after this they can learn to self-regulate themselves. But first they have to learn the regulation with another person. So there was a moment that I wanted to go into therapy again, and I couldn't have a bioenergetic analyst because I know all of them. I knew all of them. So I couldn't have a bioenergetic analyst. And I was clear that I wanted an old person with experience. And so someone recommended me a Lacanian psychoanalyst, right?
Yeah.
And then because of that, she encouraged me to take some training in Lacanian psychoanalysis. I think it's a brilliant theory, but it's too mental, too cognitive.
And how you put together bioenergetics and Lacan theory?
No, I don't put it. I mean, I had a good therapy experience, because this woman was warm enough, despite of the Lacanian analytic setting. She was warm enough in her relationship with me. And this made it possible, that this work went well. And it was helpful, and I could finish. But now, if I see this training I did, after knowing all I know, about trauma research and polyvagal theory and neuroscience, I think they have to update, because in all those approaches, body takes a central place. Everything goes through the body, so we cannot, obviate it anymore. In fact, there are more and more approaches that take the body into account on different levels, different from us, but anyway, they work with the body. So it was a good personal experience, but on a theoretical level, I am very far from that place,
Okay. Change a little the subject. I am curious, and we always ask to our to you, to people like you, the interviews. How is it to work with body psychotherapy in your country, in Spain? Does the government accept? Does the scientific community accept? Is it taught in universities? How are?
It is taught very little in universities. A colleague in my association gives a subject, teaches a subject at the university about humanistic psychology, and inside the subject she teaches bioenergetic analysis, but it's residual, because you know the main approach is still cognitive in Spain.
Cognitive.
So we are not in an easy moment, because suddenly our Ministry of Health decided to publish a list of therapies which were not scientifically approved or demonstrated. And in this list it was not bioenergetic analysis, that it is how we called ourselves here in Spain, but there was bioenergetic therapy. And bioenergetic therapy is used from different approaches, because they work with energy and they deal with energy from different places, you know. So this situation has provoked that the 5 associations of bioenergetic analysis in Spain, we have come together, and a group of people have been working into producing a document, you know, to present to the minister a document and a bibliography and a history and everything, and you know, and the little bit of research that we have, so that we will see, because it's something that we are doing with the help of lawyers, because it has to do with the laws in Spain, and we are not proficient in this. So we will see what happens, but we are moving, you know, to make it possible, even if it's not bioenergetic analysis, but you know, I think they don't know what bioenergetic analysis is at all, no? But we will try to be acknowledged and to be legal. So we are in the process of working on it.
Yeah, very sad. Miguel Angel Corpas, your colleague, told to me about this. Very sad.
Yeah.
And I know I hear about this other bioenergetic. It's very sad. In this subject, I know that some bioenergetic analysts from Spain have created a support group and support for themselves. How it works? It's practical, it's theoretical. You are part?
Yes, I'm very happy to belong to this group. It's been working for 5 years now, and we are bioenergetic analysts having many years of experience. We are 13 people from all over Spain and Portugal. And as we knew each other, you know, from the Iberian Congresses and from the workshops that the international analysts came to have in Spain, we decided to do this, and I have proposed them even to write an article for the journal about this experience, because I think it could be done with many other groups of therapists, because therapy is an isolated profession, and we need to really feel bonded and connected. So what we do, it's very interesting. The name of this group is GIPAB, which stands for a group of research and practice of bioenergetic analysis. This is the definition of this group.
How many people participate?
We are 13 at the moment, and it's a closed group. It's a closed group because too many more people, it's impossible. And we meet 4 times a year for 4 days.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. Deep. Yeah, and as if it were a training, but done by ourselves. So we share what we are doing. Sometimes it's a theoretical piece. Sometimes it's practical exercises. Of course, every day we do a body mobilization, and then there is, time for laughs and for sharing, and then for visiting town, because we are going all over Spain, We are, so one time is in Madrid, another time is in Barcelona, another time is in Portugal, another, because it's Spanish and one people from Portugal, right? Because it's Iberian congresses. We go together with the Portuguese Association for the Iberian congresses. It's a fantastic support experience, because, it's a way that we can share our worries. There is a time to check on our personal lives. Well, it's, yeah. And so I told them we have to write an article for the journal so that other bioenergetic analysts can know about our experience and can repeat it, because, it's so important to have this support. And it's also so stimulating, because each one of us is investigated in different issues, in different themes. So imagine the richness of being able to share it. And we have found this fantastic way to combine work and pleasure, which is very bioenergetic, It's not only work. It's not only work, but we have spaces for good food, and the group has an evolution, and new issues appear,
Perfect. Very nice.
So, yeah,
this
Nina, is the experience.
Nina says, sounds like a fantastic project. Yes, write an article and share your experience.
Yeah, we'll do
nice
it.
For us.
Yeah,
and
yes.
Inside this subject, we know that you work with group psychotherapy online. Please talk about.
Yes. Well, my way of working is that first I start individually, and when I see that the person is ready, it's not compulsory, of course, but I offer the person the possibility to share individual sessions with group therapy, because I love group therapy. I find it so powerful, so potent, and that it coordinates very well with individual sessions. So what I do with these people is I work one week individually, and next week group, next week individually. So there is, alternating both kinds of sessions. So
how many people in the groups?
It depends. It depends. It can be 6. It can be 8. It depends. Cool. Not very big groups, right? And so what I was very clear when we went into the confinement was that it was really important to keep the space for these people to be able to share, how they felt in this strange situation that we were locked in our houses. Some of them connecting with other people, some others not connecting so much. So So I decided that I wanted to try if it worked. And I proposed them, and they agreed. And so we had some sessions online till the moment that it was allowed here in my area to, that there was an opening and that we could function again presentially.
Good for you.
They all said that yes, that it had been a very good resource, but that they wanted presential therapy. That it had nothing to do. That was the shared and common opinion of the members of the group. So, for example, the first session of this online group experiment, it was quite chaotic. With problems in connection, problems with the sound, and then they all wanted to talk at the same time. Well, it was a little chaotic. But for the next session, I set up clear boundaries,
Yeah.
And so we started with the body mobilization, standing, not on the floor, but standing. But it wasn't that important because we have lots of exercises that we can do standing, so no problem at all. And then, as always, we had a space for each person, and in this space for each person, I used body interventions if I felt that it was needed and appropriate, and that is how it went. And what I found, it was that some of the spontaneity of the presential group was lost, we were still able to communicate and to communicate feelings, of course, but the way they stayed in the group, it was much conditioned for, if there is one talking, then I don't talk. So all this part that it's so rich in a group that someone is working and then other people, comment on, give a feedback. This was more difficult to achieve.
Use
so
the Zoom app?
Yes. Went away. Yes, we used Zoom, and then reflecting about the experience and thinking, how is it that it still functions? It still functions, even if we pass from 3 dimensions to 2 dimensions. Even if it's not presential and the sharing of energy and the sharing of feelings is not the same. But even with these limitations, it works. And then I found one explanation in polyvagal theory.
Cool.
Yeah, because in polyvagal theory, Borges talks about 3 subsystems, and the optimal one, the one in which we feel safe and we are able to connect, he calls it the social engagement system. And in this system, there is a connection from the vagus nerve to the heart, and then to almost all, not all, but a lot of the cranial nerves that irrigate the face, the eyes, the auditory system, the muscles, the orbicular muscles of the eyes, the prosody, the tone of voice. And I thought, wow, this is why, even if we are only able, most of the time, to see the face, even in this condition, the connection can be maintained. because of this. And I thought, wow, it's a good finding, you know, to understand, because I didn't understand how, you know, virtually it could happen, but yeah, it
Yeah, very
happens.
nice. I remember in the start of our life, and we had problems. I cannot see your face. Now I can see your face. I can feel your feelings. Oh,
Yeah,
please look to
yeah.
your mouth. We cannot see your mouth, Fina. Yes, very nice, very nice, very nice. You
It
can
keep
put.
it keeps going down. So you tell me,
Yeah,
and I will rectify.
cool, cool. Sorry, and
Yeah,
thank you. You can put online Porges theory. Very nice.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
in your article on our journal called
yeah.
From Body Structure to Bodies in Resonance, you talked about the evolution of bioenergetic analysis. Could you comment, please?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I think that that we are in a moment of change within bioenergetic analysis. Um, um, and what I like about it is that all the possibilities have a place. So people who want to keep more orthodox in the Lowenian way, they have a place, and people who want to be open to the new approaches, to the findings from neuroscience, from trauma research, from polyvagal theory, they have a place too. But little by little, I think we are evolving, and we need to evolve. But
Yeah,
when I say evolve, I don't mean that we have to give up about our treasure, that we have our treasure with being able to read the body, our deep understanding of the muscular tensions, our knowledge about character and developmental wounds, right? This is our treasure. This is our story. But I think it can be enriched without losing these roots. It can be enriched with all this new knowledge, you know, and little by little, we are incorporating a different language, you know. Some years ago, it was rare that someone talk about window of tolerance, you know,
yeah,
and self-arousal, you know, and all this vocabulary that comes from polyvagal theory, from neuroscience, from trauma research. But little by little, and I think it's very important, because we need to be in the mainstream psychotherapy field. I, as I see it, this is the way. The way is that we can integrate this new knowledge into the knowledge we have. It is a challenge. It is not easy, you know. It's
yeah.
not easy, but I think we are on the way. And when I was writing this article, that the title defines very well this change of perspective from body structure, you know, from the what they call the one person position in therapy, where the therapist is the one who knows, the one who reads the body, the one who makes a diagnosis, right? So from body structure to bodies in resonance, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
to, to two bodies, two energetic systems that are working together and are affecting each other mutually. And I think that it is a challenge for the therapist, because it is a position of more vulnerability. I mean, we are less protected. We are not in the place of, I am the one who knows, everything. It's like, no, I am. Of course, it is still an asymmetric relationship. It is, because
Yeah.
we have two different roles. But I think that these theories have made the role of the therapist much more human, much more real and genuine. Like, I can be wrong. Let's talk about it. And your view, my view. Let's see how it goes. Let's share it and leave this position that I know everything. I have all the answers, and the patient is placed in a more passive position. So I think it's a very important change, and I think it is very good, and it will keep evolving in the future. But I think that there is no way back,
Yeah, very nice for us. And I feel that you can bring from other approaches a lot of good stuff, a lot of good ideas. Thinking about this, how do you see the future of the bioenergetics?
That's difficult. Well, I think that the future of bioenergetics, it will come with this that I have already said, keeping our roots but integrating the new knowledge, because we need to be in the mainstream psychotherapy and not outside, right?
Yeah.
How we will put this into practice? Well, we have to see, all the bioenergetic community, lots of analysts working, each one little by little. I think we will find a way, and it is a process. It has already started. When I wrote this article, I read many articles from the journal about this issue. So I found signs.
What issue? Keep the roots?
About the development of bioenergetic analysis.
Cool.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. And about how these new contributions are affecting bioenergetic analysis, and how they are digested, how they are incorporated, right?
Yeah.
And I found different analysts who were already having that kind of discourse, like Helen Resnick, like Angela Klopstek, like Bob Lewis, when he talked with his cephalic shock, he talked of the integration between head and body. So it's like we are not in this departure point that, as it was in Lowen's time, that we want to take people out of their heads and into their bodies. Because now we know that it is only one organism, all connected, and so we have to find a different way, a more a more inclusive way that includes all this. So the future is the challenge is this: how to keep what is what is different, what is in our approach that is different from other approaches, what distinguishes us, but at the same time being up to date with the new contributions from all these other approaches.
Perfect, Fina. Thank you. Fina, what message do you have for the new generations of bioenergetic analysts?
Yeah, I have thought about, yes, I have thought about it. And I would tell them three things. The first thing would be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. Find your own truth. Honor who you are. You know, your story, your emotional story, your wounds, how you feel and think. Put this into value and do not compare with others. So find your own style, you know.
Yeah.
There. Accept the challenge to find your own style, you know, because I remember at the beginning of my years as bioenergetic therapist that I was, you know, I was very worried. I am bioenergetic. I am working bioenergetically enough. I am following, you know, all the rules. And this constrained my my intuition and my creativity a lot. And I need to feel free. I need to really feel free when I work with my patients, and I need to trust my intuition, you know. And this has been a great help. So I would tell the first thing would be this. The second thing would be patient. Be patient, but keep constant, because you know, being a good therapist and a good bioenergetic analyst, it requires a lot of practice during many years. But it doesn't matter. We learn all the time till the day we die. So keep studying, keep exploring, and don't forget to have your personal analysis and your supervision. This is basic. This is basic to help you in this journey. And the third thing is, find your own style. Find your own style. See how you digest the bioenergetic principles, that they go through your subjectivity and how they get expressed in your relationship with your patients, you know. But find your own style. Don't try to imitate this one or the other one. Just explore. Be an explorer, you know, of therapy and of bioenergetics. This is the message I have for them.
Wow, I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. I was imaging this part of our interview in IIBA Instagram to the new generations. Very nice. 3 points. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
because because you know, we are in this kind of culture, so obsessed with success and being so afraid of, you know, of failure. We cannot fail. We cannot make any error, and the only way we learn is making errors. So it's like it's like a kind of supporting message, you know, like just walk. Just walk. Don't stop. Move, which is very bioenergetic.
Perfect.
And, you know, and explore with your patients, and you will find your way. Thank you to all the people attending, and thank you to you, Dante, and thanks to Nina too. And let's keep in contact.
Yes, sure. And thank you in the name of my name and all of our members and our community. Thank you a lot. I have shared that your words increase strong a lot our community.